Hello students, today we are going to discuss our third topic, that is demand analysis. That is for 12 marks, and based on this your next topic, that is 3B, elasticity of demand, that is also based on this topic. This is very important from exam point of view. So let's start with the concept demand and desire. As the topic says, it's demand analysis. So first of all, we have to understand what exactly the demand is. Let's see what is demand. Demand is a desire backed by ability to pay and willingness to buy a particular commodity. See, here to fulfill the demand, we need three conditions. That is, you should have desire, you should have ability to pay, and you should have willingness to pay for that commodity. Okay, so here demand and desire, both are different concepts. A desire, you can desire to have anything. Desire means mere wish, just whatever you want, whatever you feel, that is your desire. But to get converted desire into demand, you need to fulfill all these three conditions. Let me explain everything by giving you one example. Suppose I want to purchase particular bike. Okay, so that is my desire to have my bike. Okay, then my parents have ability to pay for it, they have money to pay for it. So second condition is fulfilled, but they are not ready to pay for it. Willingness to buy, they are not ready to buy. So it cannot be converted. I am not able to purchase the bike. Understood? You need to fulfill all these three conditions. One more example. Suppose I'm having desire to purchase particular mobile. Okay, some brand mobile. So I am having desire to have that mobile. My parents are ready to pay for it, willingness to buy a particular commodity. Only the thing is that they are suggesting some different model to me, different brand, different company mobile to me. So even though I am having, means my desire and their desires are not matching, so I am not ready to purchase what they want or what they desire. So here my desire is not there, ability and willingness means they are ready to pay for a particular commodity, but to not to that company brand, different. So here desire doesn't match. So in that case also, I will say no, I don't want that mobile. So my desire of having that mobile will not get converted into demand. So you should have to fulfill all these three conditions. Okay, limitations. Let's see. Whenever you desire something, there is no limitation. A beggar can desire anything. See here, I have written the example. Beggar wants to go to the moon. It's just desire, इच्छा. To म्हणजे आपण काही इच्छा व्यक्त करू शकतो, but demand has certain limitations. What are they? Obviously whatever the ability to pay, willingness to buy, taste, preference, habit, everything, because we are getting that particular commodity in actual form. So you have some limitations for it. Next, price relation. This is the basic part of it. Price and quantity demanded has inverse relationship. What is inverse relationship? Opposite relationship. And desire does not have any relation with the price. Desire to buy a Mercedes car, this is very important example. Students, see, whenever distinguish is asked, you have to mention the meaning and examples. These 2 points are compulsory, and if there is a diagram, mention that also. Okay, now here we cannot draw the diagram. So example, desire to buy a Mercedes car by a rich man can transfer into demand as he has the ability and also willingness to pay. But poor man also desire to have Mercedes car, but he is not able to pay money for it. He has desire, but he doesn't have money to pay for it. So it will remain as a desire. In short, I will tell you, Demand, desire. Demand needs to fulfill three conditions, that is desire, ability to pay, and willingness to pay. Desire has no limitations. It's just mere wish. You can wish anything at any time. There is no limitation of time, money, nothing. Okay. Next. Hence, in economics, desire becomes demand only when it is backed by ability as well as willingness to pay. One more important concept I will tell you. Here, we are going to study individual demand and market demand. Remember these two things, individual demand and market demand. Now you will ask me, what is individual demand? See, it is the demand by a individual, by a particular person. As the name suggests, individual, it is a demand of a particular person. And market demand, what is market demand? Market demand is a demand by more than one person. Okay, so here we will see what is it, what is individual demand in detail. One more thing, there is demand schedule. One concept is demand schedule, one concept is demand curve. Schedule and curve. Schedule is a table. Many times in economics we use tabular representation of the data. Why we use tabular representation? Because it becomes easy to understand. See, whenever we see match, cricket match, there you see tabular representations, number of scores, over, everything has been given in tabular form, and the same is represented in the graphical form also. So demand schedule is what it is, tabular form, and demand uh, graph or curve, whatever, it is graphical representation. So demand schedule is a table showing different quantities of a commodity which is demanded at various levels of price. Now see the table. Different prices are given, 1 2 3 4 5 rupees, up to 5 rupees, and quantity demanded at different price is also given. Means when the price is lowest, that is 1 rupee, quantity demanded is highest, that is 50. This is a common sense of, we can see, we come across this situation daily. It doesn't need any graduation or any degree for it. We all people come across this situation. What we do when the price is very less or when the goods are very cheap, we go and purchase in a large quantity. But when it becomes costlier, then we purchase less of it. This we come across this situation in day-to-day life. So now individual demand schedule. Schedule means what I told you, it's a tabular representation. So individual demand schedule is a table showing different quantities of a commodity which a consumer is willing to buy at various levels of price during a given period of time. Okay, here you can see the table. It's a table of a single person purchasing, what we can say, purchasing at a different price, different quantities. So this is individual demand schedule. Now let's see market demand schedule. Schedule is a table. Here more than one person information will be given. So at different price, different quantities are purchased by individuals. Don't see the reason why he's purchasing more, why he's purchasing less, maybe income, maybe number of people, whatever the reason. We are just going to concentrate on what? We are just going to concentrate on quantities. Okay, quantities, and at what price he has purchased those quantities. Okay, now again same thing will happen. At lowest price, quantities are demanded 50 60. When price starts increasing, and at highest price, demand is a lowest, for A also, for B also. But now they have asked you market demand. So market demand, we are going to add to individuals different demand. Means DA demand is 50, DB demand is 60. So my market demand is 110. If they ask me individual, then I will write 50 and 60 separately. But here they are asking me market demand. So I am taking total, I am taking aggregate, I am taking sum, I am taking summation. So I am getting 110. Now demand curve. See, many times, sometimes we feel much better when graphical presentation is given. So demand curve is a graphical presentation. Whatever schedule, whatever table we have drawn, we are going to show it in the diagram form. Okay, so now if you look at this picture, it has drawn from the table only. Okay, so x-axis is there, y-axis is there. X-axis is representing quantity demanded, y-axis is representing price of a commodity. Okay, so then price is 1 2 3 4 5, it's increasing. Then quantity is 10 20 30 40 50, it's also increasing. At highest price, that is at rupees 5, demand is lowest 10. Then when the price starts falling, demand starts rising. So can you see there is an inverse relationship? Inverse means what? Opposite relationship between price and quantity demanded. Remember student, this inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded will be there in this chapter. Same concept will be there in the elasticity of demand. We have to learn law of demand also in this chapter, which is a very important part of your syllabus. So remember this inverse relation. Inverse means what? Opposite relation. Price and quantity demanded, there is a opposite relationship. Now same individual demand curve I have drawn, same way I'm going to draw market demand curve from that table only. Remember one thing, the third diagram, see the third diagram. In the third diagram, I have taken the total because I am showing the market demand. And what I told you in market demand, we are going to add individual demand uh, quantities. Okay, so it was 50 and something 60. So 50 plus 60, I have shown 110 at rupees 1. Lowest price, demand is highest. Total demand, market demand. See the third figure, that is market demand curve. And these two are, first two are individual demand curve. Students, we have finished the concept. I have just explained you only the basic part: demand, desire, individual demand, market demand. All these things are clear for you. I hope you have, it has been clear for you. In the next lecture, I will explain the further. Okay, thank you.